Let's get across what's been moving in terms of the nabtrade platform. Have traders been buying this rally or perhaps selling the rip? Gemma Dale is joining us from nabtrade with the details. Hey Gemma.
Hey, how
welcome.
You doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Has it been an exciting week for traders on the platform?
Look, it's an exciting week for us because it was charity trading day on Tuesday.
That's right. How did it all go?
And we love that so much. It's very exciting. So we raised $247,000
Fantastic.
for charity on Tuesday. That is all down to our investors and traders though, right? It's the brokerage that we give. So if it's a really terrible day on the market, we all get very sad. It's not a great day to contribute. Volumes have been reasonably strong this week, thankfully. So that has been very positive in terms of how we could contribute. And then also, it's a good sign, right? That everyone's interested in what's going on and there's something for them all to be thinking about.
Okay, so volumes holding up pretty well. Where sort of sector-wise was the most activity?
It is, I wouldn't say exclusively, but very close to exclusively materials and energy. I mean, it's so concentrated now where people are spending their time and their energy. But your question about whether people are buying the dip, well, they're not, there's no dip to buy. Are they selling the rip? That's what they're doing. And so they're concentrating around the stuff that's been running really hard and mostly trimming it, right? There's so much opportunity for them to take a little bit off the table at this point in time, and that's what they're doing.
Okay, so nab traders are selling the rip. What are they selling?
BHP, like the numbers yesterday were just eye-watering. $44.58 was the magic number. Don't ask me why, but that was it. And the selling was like sort of 95% in terms of total value that went through was a sell. That's extraordinary. So that's a magic number clearly for a lot of people. I just need to take a bit of off the table there. Lithium's still super hot, so that one's a bit interesting in that there's far more sort of trading activity and a few things have pulled back, so they are buying that. But anything in the energy sector that's just had this incredible run, they were trimming. Whitehaven was off 8% yesterday and then suddenly that's a buy. So they're clearly rotating a bit. If they trim hard because it's run and then it has a little pullback, sometimes if they like the stock, they will just get back in there.
Okay, what about Fortescue?
It is still,
it wouldn't be a week without getting an update on Fortescue.
It's never a week without Fortescue. One day it will not be, the top. One day was yesterday, but it was literally only one day, which was upsetting. Only one day. Look, it's still performing strongly for the people who trade it.
Yeah.
It's very actively traded, and it's interesting at the moment. It's very much at the margin. There's not a huge split between the buying and the selling. It's just activity. The other one that. If you're looking back to the things that are getting trimmed, CBA at 106
I was going to say, CBA is sitting at $108 right now.
Yeah, so anything above 106 and everyone's like, right, that's it. We've seen this before and it's nice while it lasts, but we haven't seen it last long enough to make this worth hanging on to. I don't see it going to 120. I'm getting it.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been asking sort of everyone whether what we saw from Qantas this week, which was the profit upgrade, as you know, and the rally off the back of that, whether now's the time to sell Qantas. Many agree that perhaps it is. It's still a cyclical business. Consumers are coming under increasing pressure, et cetera, et cetera. So what were nab traders doing when it came to Qantas?
So they have absolutely been selling it, and it's worth noting that Qantas was one of our top 10 buys in 2020, which is quite incredible. There'd be no other period during which Qantas would be a top 10 buy. There's plenty of other things out there that are more our investors kind of thing. But during COVID, it just felt hugely opportunistic for people. So we do have a lot of holders. We've seen trimming over the last 2 years as people are like, okay, there's the rally, I'm getting out. I didn't particularly want to hold it forever. It just seemed super cheap back then. We've seen trimming, but the values and volumes are relatively low. So quite a few people have already gotten out, and those who are still hanging on are sort of trimming at the margin. They're not wholesale sell.
Okay, all right. So we've covered off most of the major sectors. Gold, I'm wondering about gold. I had a chat with Nathan Samasundaram from Deep Data Analytics saying this is not a crowded trade. Perhaps there's a bit of opportunity there.
The one thing that we've always seen with gold, which I find fascinating, is they'll buy the physical gold ETF. And we haven't seen a great deal of that this year. We saw it a little bit earlier when people were nervous, and then it has kind of tailed away. People's anxieties and fears about the market just haven't come to play. And also gold just hasn't been the hedge that people hoped it would be. We've seen a bit of Northern Star. We've seen bits and pieces here and there, but they're not people are not passionate about that sector in a way that we see it coming through materially at any point. Find really interesting. One that is coming through, again, it's the magic number, CSL at $2.99, hard sell. That's it. I've done super well out of this. Most of our guys are buying at sub $2.50 because they've had multiple opportunities to do that over the last couple of years. So they are really trimming into that 300 number. They've still got heaps of it though.
Interesting. Okay. Has there been any expression of the whole blow up in crypto? We know why. We don't have to go through it. When it comes to traders on the platform?
We saw nothing at all. I mean, there's no ability to trade crypto through the platform or anything like that, so we don't have any direct exposure anyway. If our investors were playing that space, they didn't go into the crypto ETFs. That was not what they were doing, but they were often looking at some of the listed platforms in the US and buying the stock, sort of picks and shovels angle. Coinbase, handful of incredibly high value trades in that over the last couple of days, all buys. Absolutely incredible to me. I would not have anticipated that. Clearly a few people have gone, oh look, it's been hit hard enough, but people with a lot of money, these are not small trades.
Ooh, that is very interesting. Gemma Dale, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Great to speak to you.